Hey Love Army, Richard here. I hope this month's challenge has really helped you to think about local, shopping local, supporting local and local business owners in and around the GTA, but whatever community that you're in. Now, in line with that, I had actually the opportunity to connect with two small business owners here in the GTA. They're co-owners of Clarendon Trading Company. Now, they specialize in vintage clothes, but also to reselling in that whole business. We're gonna talk to them a little bit and talk about what they had to do as business owners during this pandemic times and COVID and some of the changes in policy and rules for our city. Also, too, their heart to just share resources and to build community with other small business owners in and around GTA that are doing the same things that they're doing, which is the reselling and vintage clothes. And the last thing that I wanted to discuss with them was about sustainability. You know, we just celebrated Love Earth. You guys killed it. But also to talk about, as a vintage and reselling company, what is their heart for sustainability and how they're caring for the earth. So I'm looking forward to share this interview with you guys. Check this out. I'm just gonna ask literally about your business.
What's going on, guys? My name is John L. Francis. I'm the co-owner of the Clarendon Trading Company.
Hey everyone, my name is Colette Libert and I'm also the co-owner of the Clarendon Trading Company.
How would you describe Clarendon?
I would say Clarendon Co. is a company that tries our best to work with the community by curating some of everyone's favorite fashion finds from earlier generations, from the 90s, 80s, and the Y2K era. And aside from a focus on clothing, we also have a huge focus on community, where we actually try to create information that helps grow the community by encouraging and hopefully inspiring up-and-coming entrepreneurs and resellers.
Yeah, I think that aspect is a really fundamental part of our business. Even our price points, we really think that even though we're selling something that's vintage and sustainable, it should also be sustainable economically as well. We really believe that people should have access to clothing that makes them feel good and comfortable and fashionable, something that they feel great in, but it shouldn't cost them their whole paycheck to afford it, so.
I think for us, when COVID initially hit, we were so anxious and really panicking because we didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So we really sat down first and just broke down all our finances and tried to figure out how could we survive if we didn't sell one thing.
Yeah, we literally looked at every dollar in our bank account, every dollar in our savings. We have a safe, and we literally counted every last cent of money in that safe and averaged that out over the span of a couple months, and basically saw how long could we just go for if we didn't sell anything. Because when COVID first started, we weren't really sure what would be open, what wouldn't be open. We didn't know if we'd be able to ship out packages. Yeah, of course we're online, but it's if people can buy but they can't get their stuff, it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? And
maybe a week, 2 weeks passed, we kind of realized, okay, well, we're still able to ship packages out. Let's just go hard online.
Yeah.
Right? So of course we have a retail store in Markham, and we weren't able to open. So we thought, you know what, we'll take everything that's on the floor and just put it online. Mm-hmm. And we realized we were actually making traction, things were working. And then while doing that as well too, we decided that hey, there are a lot of other resellers or entrepreneurs in our position. Let's create content, how to let people know the things they can do during COVID, how they can try and also pivot their business as well too, to try and at least remain relevant.
We were already on 6, 7 other platforms online already. So that helped us to have that traction to begin with. So when things did quickly pivot to online, we were able to sustain ourselves. So I think for us, sustainability has always been something that it wasn't necessarily at the forefront of our business, but still something that we put a lot of importance on. I think at the end of the day, we all realize that we only have one earth, and the fashion industry is one of the largest polluters in the world. I think the thing about environmentalism and being environmentally conscious, people always think that, okay, well, I have to do everything. I have to use reusable water bottles. I have to watch my packaging. I have to, do everything possible to be good to the environment, but just take a one step at a time. Even doing 1 out of the 10, you can use your plastic water bottles, but then buy sustainable fashion. You don't have to be perfect, but I think one step in that direction is beneficial for everyone in the world, right? So it's we knew that we weren't perfect. We knew that we weren't the champions for environmentalism, but if we could do like one small part to be part of that change, I think it goes a long way in the long run. We always want to be authentic, right? So like if we were to be like, do this, do that, do that, do that for the environment, but like we're not really doing that and we're just doing our one like sustainable fashion or like using a reusable water bottle, it would seem really fake.
It's kind of interesting because for us, I think like the ideology of the way our business is set up, it's really based on so many different sources. Like I read numerous books where there's like this Japanese investor and he's like, and someone asked him, why do people always want to work with you? And he's like, because I always give them 51% of the pie. You know, after he's like, well, if everyone wants to work with me and I only have 49%, that's still a lot. So I think it's just understanding that like you don't always need to have every single piece to be successful, and it's okay to share some of your successes with other people. And also for me as well too, like I'm a huge fan of Kanye West, and I've always liked what he said about art, where it's like it's the young people that dictate art. They're new and innovative ideas. They're the one that push and inspire us to try new and innovative things. So for us, we've always seen fashion as art. So it only made sense to try and work with the younger generations because they're going to be in the forefronts one day. So if we can like just help in the system in any single way, especially at the initial points of their business careers, I think it only kind of makes sense.
And I think there's also that African proverb that we always like say like every now and again. It's like, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And like that's something that like we really take in every aspect of our business and in our personal life. Like I don't want to be at the top by myself. Like I want to be at the top with everyone around me. I want everyone to make money.
And also too, I don't think anyone also wants to start at the bottom alone.
As entrepreneurs, we're all going through so many common things all together. So it's like, why not share? Why not bounce ideas off of each other? Why not work together?
I would say have a friend in business, because a lot of the times we look onto like our family members, our close acquaintances and our friends for that glimmer of hope and support, and that's extremely important. It's good to have that aspect as well too, but to have someone as a business friend that's going through the same thing that you can talk to, that you can bounce ideas off, I think that really helps, and that's how you're able to really feel heard from someone else, especially when they're going through it as well too.
The biggest thing for me is just focusing on my why. Like, why do I do this? Like, why do I wake up every day and go picking? Why do I post every day? Why do I do all those little intricacies for my business that like I may or may not enjoy all the time, but I always tie it back to that fundamental, like, what is the purpose of this? And it's very motivating because my why is so integral to the person that I am and the person that I'm becoming. I desire, financial freedom. I want to build up my community. I want to employ people and empower people to reach and strive towards the lives that they desire, right? And for me, like, the avenue for that is through business. So when I focus on that why, it doesn't matter about a restriction. It doesn't matter about COVID. It doesn't matter about this barrier, that barrier, whatever it is. Like, I'm going to get through it because my why is so important and fundamental to me.
If you guys want, you can check us out in Markham at our Markham location or at Scarborough Town Center in Toronto. Please follow us on social media. That's Clarendon Co. on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.